guys, welcome back to the Her Story Sneakers podcast, where we're showcasing the waviest women in the sneaker industry, community, and all things related. Today we have a guest who is very close to my heart. She's my fellow Indian sister, Punjabi sister. She's an illustrator and designer. She's worked with an array of brands, from Nike to Adidas to Reebok, I believe. Have you worked with Reebok? No. She's worked with Camden Hills, Camden Brewery. You've worked with a lot of people.
Yeah, a range of brands and cool things.
Yeah, and cool projects.
Yeah.
So we have the beautiful Jasmin Sehra.
Hello.
You guys probably will have seen her on Instagram. She's been doing a few pop-ups here and there. And we've just been seeing her grow and do a lot more cool things over the past a few months, and especially the last couple of years. So we're going to dive into it. Hi, Jasmin.
Hey,
so introduce yourself to the people. Obviously, I gave a brief introduction as to who you are.
It was a good intro.
You're very welcome.
I felt like it was very thorough. But yeah, I'm an illustrator designer. And I did multidisciplinary recently because, illustrator design, I feel like puts you in a box. And with me, I kind of just do like a range of things. So obviously illustration and design, but like product design, hand lettering. I host workshops as well. Customize like different products like sneakers or like beauty kind of like packaging and stuff. So yeah, kind of just like a range of things. And my work is all about like self-love and positivity and empowerment. And yeah, that's kind of just like who I am. Also, I have a obsession with palm trees. I absolutely love palm trees and nature. And yeah, that's kind of me.
Yeah, so that's what you're shout out. So that's what you're obviously doing now. That's kind of what is your recognizable standout print, like footprint that you're leaving. But in terms of how you got there then, so
yeah,
before getting into illustration and design and being a multidisciplinary, like what started the journey in regards to, so growing up, what were your interests?
This is like a proper story, man. So like,
and what kind of steered you on this path?
So I come from a really creative background. Like my family are very creative, but more sort of like musically inclined. My uncles and stuff, singers, Bud's a music producer, dad and like his siblings and stuff were all just very creative, drawings and like, and I guess that kind of is almost kind of, isn't it blood, man? So like it was kind of like a natural thing to, because we were surrounded by creativity, and my parents as well, they always encouraged it at home to, get creative in our spare time. And it's just something that I grew to love. And yeah, studied it in school because it was like my favorite subject. And it was just something that I really loved. And then studied it in university.
So what was your actual,
I was going to say, so obviously I come from like a musical background. I did play the violin. Well, I just wanted to put that in there. Yeah. Because
do you have a clip of you playing?
Probably somewhere.
Can we put it in the video?
Oh my God. Do you know what? I have to dig it out. I don't remember how to put it, but it's like proper like not VHS, the old school camcorder ones. Yeah. But I stopped that when I was like 13 or something. But I want to pick up again. I was alright, I feel like if I continued, I could have been playing in an orchestra or something, man. Honestly, like. But
you could be at the Brits.
Yeah. But
how did you start playing the violin?
Oh, I don't know what it is about the violin. I was just so drawn to it. Like everyone was going for the recorder and like, the usual.
As you do at that age.
You do. But I don't know what it was about the violin. I just thought it was so interesting that you have like, two parts to the instrument. You got the bow, and then you have the actual violin. But I don't know, just something that I was drawn to, and I really enjoyed it. It was hard, and I got a lot of complaints by my family.
What you're doing on
screeching and stuff like that. But I don't know, it was just sick. It was really cool.
It's really cool to hear like the background of your family, like everyone being really artistic. I feel like, especially with the new the gen coming up, obviously I'm a millennial, then you have Gen Zs and stuff. Everybody coming up now that's a creative, it usually their background, their story usually stems from I'm the first one in my family to kind of break away and do something creative, especially if they are Indian or have any Indian like or Asian, East Asian influences or anything like that. So it's just really cool to hear like that actually you were inspired by the people around you. You didn't necessarily have to look outside of your family for inspiration. So that's awesome. And super inspiring as well, I think, like just to know that people like that do exist and people do have people in their family that encourage them to pursue such
I feel like
creativity.
Yeah, we're kind of lucky in that sense because obviously I know some people as well who are sort of like in the background that you said where it's always the traditional kind of like roles that they would expect their children to follow. So yeah, we were quite lucky that our parents were like, do you know what, do what you want to do, like want to follow what you love, but as long as you can make a living out of it and sustain yourself, then yeah, just go for it kind of thing. So it's been blessed, man.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. I think that's such an incredible thing to teach someone. And yeah, big up the people in your family.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, so what exactly, you said you studied at uni. What was your actual course?
So I studied graphic design and illustration at LCC.
Okay.
And it's funny because before that I was so into fine art, and obviously I didn't follow that path, and I'm glad I didn't because before I studied my degree, I went into CSM. I did a foundation, like an arts foundation, so you just do a bit of everything and you build a portfolio kind of thing, because my portfolio was so mixed because my art tutor taught us to just do a bit of everything, and I think that's kind of carried on with like how I am now, not to just box yourself into like one thing, which I mean it's for some people,
I was gonna say it has pros and cons.
It has pros and cons, and to be honest, like I guess at that stage of trying to find out and figure out what I wanted to do, it was a bit of a con because I was like, oh my God, I was so confused. But then I ended up going down the graphic design kind of pathway. From there, graduated, and my first project actually was with MTV. So they commissioned. Oh, wow. Yeah. So it was like, I think this is all my work at my final degree show, and then from there it was just a bit of a whirlwind, really. Like coming out of university, I think everyone expects themselves to land a job at an agency or a creative, like some sort of creative role, but for me it wasn't the case. Like it was a scary time because I felt like no one wanted to hire me and I felt so lost. I was like, oh my God, like what the hell do I do? So I got a job as a visual assistant at Gap. So I was there for many years, but like it was a full-time role, and in between that and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, because at that time I was painting portraits, so I didn't really have like, obviously I had a design background, but it wasn't my passion. So my passion at that time was portraits and stuff. And who's gonna hire me like when I go to portraits? Yeah,
to sit in front of the Eiffel Tower.
And even though I knew how to like do design, it wasn't something that I wanted to actually do and pursue in that sort of like creative environment. Even though I would apply for these jobs and just not get it. And I remember as well going to like portfolio reviews and stuff. And I remember this one time, I went to a portfolio review with Google, and someone from an agency there said to me, just keep doing what you're doing. And when he said that, I was like, okay, that was helpful, because like we went to this portfolio session to like
get tips,
get some tips, get some like insight, get some help, and this guy was like, just keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, okay, that was really kind of rubbish. And then anyways, I went away, and I mean, I literally just continued paying and stuff, and then things started to fall into place. Like I started being a part of group exhibitions and just putting myself out there for different opportunities to like showcase my artwork and stuff. And I think throughout that whole process as well, I kind of got to know me. And obviously with like life experiences and stuff, your work evolves naturally. I think with any creative, your work evolves. And slowly, I kind of started incorporating like my passions, like what I'm about, what, like, you know, the things I was going through. And that's when I started typography, because obviously portraits, started doing Bollywood posters that incorporated lyrics and stuff that I resonated with. And then I started focusing more on typography. And it was all because of like, just, I was going through a hard time mentally. And it was just, you know, I used my creativity to kind of explore that and just, you know, put all those energies and stuff into creating meaningful pieces, you know, pieces that I could like resonate with, and hopefully others as well. And I think that's kind of what's made me do what I'm doing now. Like a lot of my pieces are still that, and each piece has like a story, you know, is always created for by like a moment that I've kind of gone through and stuff. So yeah.
Would you say you're a confident person?
It's weird, yeah, because like, yes and no. Honestly, like I've always self-doubted myself and stuff. Self-esteem wise, confidence wise, I used to be super shy. But it's weird because I'm a person who has a lot to say. At home, yeah, I'm so open and like loud and stuff. But when I'm outside, I don't know, I kind of shy away from being my true self. I think everyone kind of has like that kind of like bit about them, but I think I've definitely grown to be more confident now. But yeah, before, nah.
The only reason I ask is because it's like, I feel like you need a certain level of confidence in order to express yourself truly and wholeheartedly through your art, because
definitely, yeah,
it's like putting yourself inside out, right? It's like showing someone what exactly is going on up here, and it's like sometimes you can't get more vulnerable and intimate than that. It's like obviously the whole purpose of, you know, forming friendships and relationships and stuff is a lot of people get to experience the outside, and everyone gets to see that, and at a certain point it loses all of its value. It's like the stuff inside that, you know, takes time for you to in those connections and trust and stuff. And like that's the person, like, or the value that you're giving someone else. It's like the parts of you that other people don't get to experience. So it's like when you're obviously going through a hard time, you're expressing yourself via art, even though on the one hand it's therapeutic and it's like you're getting stuff out of your head onto a page. On the other side, once you're now publishing that, it's like allowing everybody to have a look at that and also be able to critique it. And it's like I'm a firm believer in vulnerability doesn't like truly exist. Like in order for something to make you vulnerable, you have to allow it. Like I can tell you something extremely tragic about me or traumatic or whatever, and you can say whatever you want as long as I don't actually care what you have to say about it. If I do now care what you have to say about it, then that is going to make me vulnerable. But I can just imagine obviously for artists, because I used to write a blog. Like
I had a blog as well.
And
that's when I started to really talk about the stuff that I was going through. It's kind of because I used to journal, and journaling, and I still journal, like it helps me so much, just like putting my thoughts on paper and stuff. But when I started creating typo pieces, that was journaling at the time as well. And also I was doing like this thing where I would share like what I was wearing and stuff, like but yeah, like blogging, it was scary because like you said, like you're showing your, you know, everyone kind of, you take everyone on that journey, like your personal journey. But in a way for me, I think, because I was so passionate about it, and I just wanted people to, because at that time as well, there wasn't a lot of blogs that were talking about mental health and stuff like that. So I don't know what it was. Like there was just something in me like that just lit up and was like, okay, I'm going to share like my experiences. And so many people like connected to it. And I don't know, I just feel like just generally like you've been given something like a gift or something to just create something and do something for the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like
Right, Spider-Man.
yeah. But like honestly, I feel like what I do, I feel like that's what
that's your
like,
purpose.
that's my purpose. Yeah, like to be able to, you know, because you know, creating artwork and stuff is cool. It's very personal for everyone. And but I just really want to do something and leave something behind that's like inspiring and that's made a difference of some sorts, you know, no matter how small. And yeah, I guess that's kind of what fuels me as well. Like it's not just about me, but it's, you know, about the wider community and like, you know, being able to connect and inspire and stuff like that. And that's why I've been able to, and that's why I, you know, want to be able to do workshops and stuff, creative workshops and more sort of like people related stuff, because it's just, I don't know, it's just the best, man. And it's so nice to be able to connect to people and like yeah, just
yeah, like obviously that's inspiring, being able to connect with people and like have them to take them kind of on a journey with you. And then obviously on the other hand, you have to recognize a privilege in being able to pursue something that you want, especially if it's creative, like especially as people and women of color. It's like at a certain point you have to think that there's so many people around the world that are talented. Like there are so many like singers, writers, artists like that will just remain undiscovered because they live in parts of the world where people don't care to look there for talent, or they won't ever be able to do it because it's just, you know, they have to, whatever they're going through, they can't do it. It's not financially viable for them. So it's like anybody that is able to do that, like I agree, it's kind of like you need to use your voice, so you need to use whatever voice and platform you have like for a purpose bigger than yourself. I think Virgil Abloh actually said that or something similar, that like everything you do has to have a wider meaning. And yeah, coming back onto the blog thing, like I think it was because also like at that time I was quite unknown. It was a sense of like, I don't care if people can like read things or whatever that I'm thinking.
yeah.
Because I'm never going to see these people.
But
like,
also as well, it's like, who cares what other people think? Because it's
yeah, it was a who cares, but I do find that I think the reason why everybody is so comfortable with oversharing online is because it's a lot easier to overshare or share anything about yourself with strangers than it is with people that know you, because they won't have a preconceived idea of whatever you're telling them. Like there's kind of almost no judgment there, or if it is judgment, it's completely unbiased because they don't know anything about you. Like they don't know where you grew up, they don't know how you were when you were a teenager compared to now. Like they don't have anything to kind of compare you with. So I feel like that's where the comfortability in oversharing online comes from. And I feel like back then when I was writing my blog and stuff, one, I just didn't care anyway because it was like therapeutic and I enjoyed writing. But then two, it was like I don't know any of the people that are like going to read it. And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what, if anybody stumbled upon this and they did read, not that it was anything crazy, but it's just, I'm at a certain point in my life now where it's like, nobody needs to know anything about what I went through or what I felt. Like if you think everything came easy, you can think that. If you think I'm always happy, you can think that. If you think I have the best life in the world, you think that. And I don't need to now prove you wrong. Like I think at a certain point in my life, it was very much like, no, I want people to know like, this wasn't easy. But yeah, and then I felt like that was making me vulnerable. But now I share what I share.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have an open blog about my thoughts anymore.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of the same. Like I still share like bits and bobs of like, you know, what I'm feeling, what I'm kind of going through kind of thing. But I think, yeah, I kind of just leave most of it in my journal and it's a book.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's kind of nice because not a lot of people have, like what you were saying before, like have that opportunity to be able to share that stuff, you know? And I think, yeah, I mean, if it comes naturally to you, like if that's part of like what you do, then do it kind of thing. A lot of the time I try not to overthink, you know, what I'm doing, what I'm creating. And I just do it. So yeah.
Right. Well, let's get into obviously your work with brands and stuff.
Yeah.
So what was your first brand campaign?
Yeah. So
you did?
okay. So my first my first project was obviously the MTV commission, and it wasn't just me that got it. Actually, I think it was a few people from university that got it as well, and it was just creating artwork for the headquarters. And that was more like illustrative, really fun, just like really open kind of brief. And then my first one, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to think. My first big project, I think, was with Tate.
Okay.
I want to say it was a mural. Do you know the Marla Sen mural that I did?
Yeah.
I think it was that one. That year, I also did something with Nike for, I forgot which sneakers they were, but we created artwork for trainers that were inspired by a particular art movement.
Okay.
So I did that year.
And what year was this?
This was 2018.
Okay.
2018, yeah. That's when things started to like finally kind of like, piece together. And after that, the year after that, I did some stuff with Levi's. So did the customization workshop with them for a summer pop-up that they had. So customized jackets and stuff, which was cool. And yeah, oh my gosh, it's like looking back, I don't know why my mind's like blank. Like I remember what I did the past like 2 years, but 2018, oh my god. But that was definitely the year where I felt comfortable with what I was doing, and I knew kind of like I started to just grow my craft, and yeah, I kind of knew what kind of path I was going in. I also had a radio show in 2018. No, sorry, not 2018. Oh my god, I'm so mixed up with my years, man. I think it was 2015, 2016. And that also actually was quite connected to the pieces that I created at that time, so the typo stuff. So each show was based on a particular theme. I mean, all of it was really revolved around like mental health and stuff, but like so yeah, so they had that. And
so were you still at uni when you had the radio show?
Nah, no.
So what year did you graduate?
2013.
Okay.
Yeah. Long time. Very long time. But that's it though as well. Like I feel like it takes a long time for, I mean, some people, it doesn't matter how long it takes for someone to get to a certain place, you know? And but for some people it just takes longer than others, and it doesn't mean that, it doesn't take away from anything. But yeah, so 2018, and then I think from there, honestly, my mind's gone blank, man. Like,
do you miss doing a radio show?
Yeah, I had a lot.
I saw you posting about it.
Yeah, recently. I've been thinking recently, like, to actually do one, but I think at that time, like, I stopped it because I felt like it was for that moment. Like, I said what I wanted to say, kind of thing. Like,
okay, yeah.
You know what I mean,
I said what I said.
Yeah, and then since then, like, I've grown so much, and now I have like a different perspective. Like, I have, you know, things have happened since then, and I feel like I have a different story to tell, kind of thing. And I feel like, especially with what I do, you know, there's not a lot of brown creatives kind of doing what I'm doing. I feel like, and what I've come to realize is, as well, is that people want to hear what you've got to say, kind of thing. Like, I think as a brown girl in this industry as well, I want to be able to inspire like the new generation of like brown creatives, you know, not just women, but like everyone. So yeah, I don't know, it's something that I'm thinking of tapping into again. Yeah, but let's see. I'm not gonna force it, it'll happen when it happens, kind of thing. But at the moment, I'm just focusing on like all these like cool projects and stuff that I'm being able to work on. Yeah, kind of gone on a tangent a bit, off on a tangent.
It's all right. It's because obviously I was asking about how your first kind of brand project or whatever. Yeah. So it was a bit of a tangent, but it was a relevant story, so it's fine. I was going to ask, and what I really want to know is, what's like your favorite project that you worked on?
Oh my gosh. honestly, whenever anyone asks me this, I have such a
Don't
hard
say you don't
time.
have one.
Oh no, I do.
Show me that person.
The thing is though, every single project like brings something out of you that's like different from the last, and you learn so much, man. Like it's, oh my god. But my favorite one. Okay, there's two highlight ones that just pop into my mind. Yeah.
Okay.
So the Converse workshop that I did
Yeah.
with Converse, and then also the Adidas trainer that I had. But also the Marlis, and because that was like my first big, like one of my first big projects. That was crazy, man. Like that was wicked. Because at that time I was doing the Bollywood posters, and it was my dream to be able to create a poster that would be out there in public. Like back in the old school days, like in India and stuff, where they were hand paint the murals and stuff. I wanted to be able to do that, and that happened. So that was wicked. That was definitely a standout moment.
But that was like the first thing you did.
Yeah, true. I think the first projects are always going to be a standout moment.
Yeah.
But
I also mean you accomplished your goal like right away.
Yeah. I wouldn't say right away, but no, that was wicked, man. But yeah, like the Adidas shoe, actually, I had no idea what was happening with that as well. Like, as in, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
But there was 4 creators from London that got invited to Adidas HQ in Germany, which, by the way, was pretty crazy. Like,
I can imagine.
But that was cool because that was a trainer for London.
Yeah.
So we had to like design a sneaker for London, and looking back, I would definitely change the design, but it was for that moment, you know, that was me back then.
Okay.
But that was cool.
So talk us a bit more like through the process of that shoe.
Yeah.
How it came out, the design, and you can let us know what you would change on it if you were to do it today.
So it was the AM1.
Non-Air Max 1.
Yeah.
For the Nike fans. Non-Air Max 1.
And it was was it AM1 Ultra Boost?
I think it was Ultra Boost.
Yeah, it was Ultra Boost. And so the whole campaign was about championing London and what it meant to us.
But what was the application process like? Like, how did you get picked?
So we got picked by Adidas. So
just like randomly?
I don't know, maybe.
Like, how did you find out you got it?
Yeah, I mean, they just email.
Okay, so you didn't apply for anything. You just got a random email. Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting process. But yeah, it was me and 4 other creatives from London, and got invited out there, stayed there for a few days, and it was a very quick process. Like, we knew it was for London, so we had to obviously do a research and like have a concept before we actually went out there. And then just like did everything out there. Like, it was really weird. It was kind of like a competition kind of thing, which was,
so you were competing against each other of what can have the best design?
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And then mine got chosen by the Adidas team, which was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How are you saying that so casually?
No.
I know we're not usually an Adidas podcast, but today.
No, it was cool. And then that was it. Came back to London.
Yeah, so what was your design?
So my design was based on like how London is a big melting pot of people, different cultures. So that's why we had, you know, the different colors on the design. And it was kind of like an Aztec kind of print, but that was an illustration of like the city and how like, you know, crazy and how like wild it is. And then you had like this line running through it as like a
the River Thames.
Kind of, but yeah, because that's like London, isn't it? The River Thames. Oh yeah, so we just had, you know, EastEnders on my foot. So. But no, it was like kind of like a representation of the community and, you know, just this unity throughout the whole of London kind of thing. So that was the concept behind it, and we had a really cool, like, on the shoe you were able to create like a reflective little piece thing.
Okay.
On
The heel tab.
On the heel tab, yeah. And peace thing, what the hell. But yeah, had little like cool accents and stuff, and then we had like the 3M on the laces and all that jazz. And yeah, it was pretty cool, man. And it was cool because people from like Germany and stuff were messaging me on like Instagram, and they were like, oh my god, we've got your shoe. And I was like, oh shit. But yeah, that was a cool moment. But it was stocked everywhere in Europe. Foot Locker.
Amazing. So you could actually go in store and see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had it everywhere, man. My name was on the.
That's so cool. That's such a better story than mine.
Yeah. It was so cool. It really was. It was a very different experience. And then we had like this whole campaign and stuff as well, like the photos, and it got picked up by Hypebeast. Who else? Oh my god, just loads. Was it Secret London? Highest Nobiety. It was cool, man.
Yeah.
And it was weird to see my name like on that. It was really weird. But also, I think I was the first female to have created a shoe as part of that series, because I think there were other people before the London series. I think they did one for every city. And that was the only men. Yeah, it was all guys, man. Sick. So yeah, it was pretty sick, man. Yeah, thank you.
No, that's sick. That's proper cool achievement, especially like going into store and seeing your name and being able to actually physically like grab your shoe and have different sizes of it. Like that's legit.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, man.
Yeah, that's sick. That's
it feels like it's like a lifetime ago. It actually feels like ages ago.
Yeah, it is. I get like that sometimes, that people like just congratulate me on something that happened. And it's like, yeah, all right, but
yeah, it's kind of like
yeah, that was amazing, but like it happened. I can't just live my life thinking about this one thing that I did.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Yeah, you kind of have your moment at that time, and then you're just like, yeah, just got to keep it moving, kind of.
Yeah, like I can't have people still talking about something 10 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Well, I did nothing for the past. Years.
Yeah, I think with anything, like it has its moment. It was part of that. It was you at that time, and like I said, like each project makes you grow, makes you learn new things, and yeah.
No, it's amazing. Like it's an incredible, yeah, for sure. On to the next. It's an incredible opportunity, but 100% like you have to look back and be proud of what you've done. Yep. But you can't get complacent and think, oh well, I've done this, so I don't need to do shit for the rest of my life. It's like, no, you still have, like, you should be evolving and changing, like as you said, and learning from stuff.
Yeah, like what can you take from that project onto the next one?
Exactly, and apply it in other places. But so with that in mind, what would you do differently then? So if you had to do it now, what would you change? As you said, the design.
It was difficult because the silhouette, the actual shoe, I kind of wish it was a different shoe, like a different silhouette, but obviously we weren't able to choose that.
What silhouette would you want?
I don't know, a Nike silhouette.
So you want to change the whole company?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like
a Superstar.
Maybe like a Gazelle or something. I don't know.
God.
Oh. What? You don't like them,
mate?
No.
I actually have an announcement.
Oh my gosh!
Not an announcement. I have a message. I have a PSA. I worked in Foot Locker and I sold so many Gazelles. Why do people buy Gazelles? I don't understand. They're the most disgusting shit. They are horrible.
Do you know what? Back in the day, I really liked them because they had this like vintage look to them. I really, the thing is with me as well, yeah,
they look vintage because they look like you should stop wearing them 50 years ago. That's why they look vintage.
Oh my god. Nah, I don't know. I kind of liked it. I remember I bought my first pair of Gazelles when I went to like Cali in like 2014 or something. I bought some black ones, and then I had some pink ones, which actually they're a bit too bright for me. I
sold so many blue ones.
Really?
It's a joke. Like, I mean, it was great because
you don't really see a lot of people wearing Gazelles these days.
That's what was baffling to me. It was like I'm selling like, honestly, like 10 pairs a day, and where are people wearing them? Like, I don't see them wearing them. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, if you had, but fair enough. If that's.
I mean, honestly, that's like the first thing that came to my mind. Gazelles maybe, but yeah, actually, Superstars. I actually did do like a customized Superstar for. I don't know if you heard of Creative Debuts.
Yes.
and I stitched like palm trees on them.
Oh
Which
yeah,
was,
I would
like,
have
mad.
seen it because they had the display thing.
Yeah.
I would have went and saw it, but because a couple other people that I know did that, so I would have seen. I just didn't.
Yeah, so I did that. That was cool because,
Time.
to be fair though, like a superstar is a blank silhouette. Like you can do anything you want on it, almost like an Air Force One.
I literally knew.
But,
you were
like,
going to say that.
Oh
Shout
my
out.
god, yeah. But
Please.
yeah, I don't know, man. But I don't know how I'd change. I mean, I'll change it, but I need to, like, you know, really just get there, like get down and plan and research and think. I can't think about an idea right now.
Yeah, sometimes.
But it'll be something to do with what I'm doing now, maybe, probably. But again, like, do you know how I was saying I don't like to box myself too much into like one way of like creating something? I'll probably do something totally different. Like, I wouldn't just want to paint on it, or actually, yeah, I just want to do something different, like out of the box. If I had to go back to a design.
Yeah, 100%, because it has to be representative of you now.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to look back at it and be like, oh yeah, I did this in 2022 and I was all about this at the time.
Yeah. Saying that though, I wear my shoes quite a lot. They're so comfortable.
How many pairs did you get?
I've got about 4, you know.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
You did it properly.
Yeah, I kept it, man. Because even the box, like the original box and stuff, I was like, I'm gonna have to keep it. Because it's just something, it's like...
Yeah, it's
like,
a piece of history. It's a piece of history.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's a piece of history. So, like, yeah. Yeah, so yeah.
Sick. Where did the the sneaker journey, where did it start? Because obviously a lot of your inspiration comes... Well, I don't know if a lot of your inspiration comes from there. Perhaps you can let me know. But obviously you're quite affiliated with streetwear sneaker brands.
Yeah.
You do work with them quite a lot and you are like an enthusiast. So where did that kind of journey start? And
so I think my earliest memory, so I actually didn't get into trainers until like just before uni. But my earliest memory were like me getting dunks and like shell toes. My parents like copped it for us and stuff. So and the dunks I had were really cool. They were like this pale blue color, but it had like this really weird, it wasn't navy, but it was like a teal kind of blue tick with like it was just sick. And I always used to wear my Gap hoodie, which is really funny because obviously I ended up working at Gap.
Yeah.
But that was like my favorite hoodie. So that's like my earliest kind of memory. But yeah, so I actually got into sneakers and stuff before university, but I really loved Converse. And I know they're like uncomfortable in it, but they're good for gym and stuff. Cause,
I wear Converse every day to the gym.
Yeah, like they're good for that. But yeah, Converse. But anyways, it was just super cool because
Converse is the original basketball shoe.
Yeah, exactly that.
So
Yeah,
I tell everybody that because I remember posting that I was balling in my Converse on my Instagram story, and people wanted to tell me raw Converse bold choice, and I was like, "Excuse me, no, it's not the same." Actually, with the Huarache, it was called an Air Huarache for a reason. Kobe balled in them. Yeah, just letting you know. Get your facts straight. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
Converse are great.
Yeah, so I really love Converse because of the different, like they had a lot of different collaborations and stuff at that time. And I was very eclectic when it came to like clothes and stuff. I was very into, like I said, my vintage clothes and that vintage kind of look. I used to wear like windbreakers. I was that kind of person in uni, yeah. And I just thought it complemented my style really well. And I really love like, yeah, the different colors and prints and stuff that I used to get. And I remember this one time, yeah, me and my mum went to the shops and we went to H&M specific, and I saw a guy wearing these really sick Converse. Yeah, it was like a layered kind of Converse, and it had a grey camo print on top, and then underneath it had like a neon camo, but you can see through the grey because it had like cuts in it. And he was wearing it with neon laces, and I was like, oh my god, that's so sick, yeah. And this was like during my shy days, so I asked my mum, was like, could you ask this guy where he got his like Converse from, because I want to cop them. And I did cop them. Yeah, so like I think, yeah, I was really obsessed with Converse, and I've actually still got my very first pair of Converse. I've kept it because I was like, it just meant so much to me. And they're beat down, man. They've got holes in it and everything, but I was like, I can't let these go, man.
How old are they now then?
Oh my god, probably
mine are about 10.
No, mine's are older than that. I think.
I still wear mine to the gym. High top red ones.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sick. I don't even remember how old.
And I remember when my mum bought them for me, and I felt so bad because of the price at the time, and I was just like, just was so happy. And now I'm just like, made the amount of money I'm spending on shoes.
But yeah, so I got into Converse, and then in university, so my brother actually, he's got a cool collection, man.
Older?
No, we're twins actually. Twin brother, yeah.
No way! I didn't know you were a twin.
Oh my god, yeah, I've got a twin brother.
What the hell?
Yeah, but
oh my days, mad.
Yeah, I've got a twin brother.
I don't really know any Indian twins.
Really?
Yeah.
But he's a movie producer actually. So we're both like creative.
Wow.
Yeah. So he had like, we always used to go with him to like sneaker releases and stuff. Queue up with him to like cop, whatever he wanted to get and stuff. And I mean, I appreciated trainers and stuff at that time. Like, it wasn't really, I don't know, it didn't really have like a massive.
Yeah, you could take it or leave it.
Yeah, but I appreciated like, the culture and stuff, and it was cool going with my brother and stuff to like all these events and whatever. But yeah, it was actually university. I bought a pair of vintage. Was it Blazers? Nike Blazers, but they had the vintage pack, and I bought the red ones.
Yeah.
Again, going back to that vintage flex, like I just loved it.
They're actually really the vintage pack Blazers.
They're sick.
Yeah. One of the ones that they do right. Like the old school
mine,
Blazers.
They're so good. And like them. So I had that actually. That started off my like interest in like trainers and stuff, and then I bought Air Max 1s. It was a Liberty collab. And then from then on, like, I don't know, just kind of been a thing. Yeah, but I think with every, like, sneaker that I've bought, I keep, like, changing, like, sneakers, trainers.
Same.
I don't even know, but, like, but every shoe that I've bought has, like, a meaning to it. Like, I wouldn't just buy it just because it's, hype or whatever. But for me, it's always been about the colors and, like, sometimes even the story behind it, or what it evokes like within me. Like before, it was always like about that vintage look, like, and the patterns and the colors and stuff. I had some really, like, actually looking back, some of the choices that I made with shoes were a bit questionable, but like, but it was bold. Me at the time. Yeah, really bold. Like I had like purple trainers and like pink trainers and stuff, but like, no, it was cool. That was me at the time. So, but yeah, each sort of trainer, like, if something speaks to me, I'll try and get it.
Yeah.
So like even the ones that I got now, I remember messaging you. Can I show the camera? Yeah, can I come and see it?
Yeah.
These Air Max 1s. But yeah, like I had to get these, man, because I'm such a nostalgic person. Like
they're really nice.
I love them.
When the sun hits them,
I took these on holiday as well. They're so comfortable as well. I think Air Max 1s, and Air Max 90s are probably some of my favorite.
Oh no, I hate.
Are you kidding?
I hate 90s.
Oh my god, they're like my go-to like trainer. But yeah, with these ones, because I was saying to you that they reminded me of this particular Barbie that I had in 93 or something.
The holographic one.
Yeah, and I know something so small, but it made me want to cop these. It just reminded me of that. But yeah, that's really kind of like how I got into it, really.
Yeah. I can't believe you have a twin brother.
Yeah. We don't look alike, I mean, I would be worried if we did.
Why? That's all point of twins. You get to see
true. But then, I don't know.
Different versions.
Yeah, true.
No, awesome. What is your background then for the people that don't know? And also for the audio listeners.
So
I did ask you this off the podcast. I think we would revert back to it.
Yeah, so I'm a Sikh woman. I was born and raised here in London. Parents are from Kenya. My dad was born in Kenya and his siblings. My granddad was born in Kenya, but obviously roots are in Punjab. And I was saying Pakistani as well. Like in specific, Jalandhar and Bagwara. But yeah, that's kind of like my background.
Was you raised like traditionally?
I would say we're quite
Indian traditionally.
yes and no. I think we are quite modern, but yeah, my family are sort of like, they have the traditional values. You know, we like, we were brought up like, it was so sick. It was literally the best of both worlds. We
You
didn't
get the
lose.
best of
Oh
both
my
worlds.
god. But yeah, like we didn't shy away from, you know, who we were like growing up and stuff, except actually in university. I kind of did, because I was like the only brown girl in CSM in my class,
Yeah.
and it was weird because I'm from Wembley, and the school that I went to, it was predominantly like South Asian pupils.
Okay.
It was quite mixed, but then going into university, obviously, and you're like, kind of, you just don't know how to, like, I felt like I couldn't be me, or I felt like I wouldn't be understood, or like it was a lonely place, man. Obviously I had friends and stuff, but it was like, you kind of had to like suppress who you were, kind of thing. And I think a lot of people kind of felt the same way, like being in university as well. Like, so yeah, I kind of sort of stepped away from my true identity. But then I found it again, because I was like, you know what? I mean, it was there, but like in those spaces and stuff, like I came to really, like towards the end of uni, came to really embrace, like, yeah, this is me, this is who I am, and just, you know, I wanted to unapologetically be me, and
Yeah. I never really shied away from ever being Indian, but because I was always surrounded by white people and white kids, it was like subconsciously, it was like the only I was aesthetically Indian. So it's like when I was in primary school, they would love when we came in our lenga or like a sari for non-uniform day or something, or like whenever we would learn about Sikh or something and like Ari, then people would want to ask me questions. Or it was just, I don't know, I think I was never really aware of it. Like even when my friends would be able to share makeup and I wouldn't, it was like I wasn't conscious of it. And then it was only when I was a bit older that I was like, it was a bit, it was also difficult because I grew up in a predominantly white area. It was like, I don't fit in with the white people.
yeah,
I don't fit in with the Asians because they have their own judgments. And then it's like the odd few, like if there was a black people, then I also didn't really fit in with them. But
it was weird actually, because actually you speaking about it, like, yeah, we didn't have any like friends growing up and stuff, really.
Yeah,
like,
none.
It was weird, because actually even now, like, I mean, now I do, but like, yeah, but yeah, it was weird because we never really had that, apart from like, you know, I mean, the good thing is with our family, we had so many people around us, like, so many cousins are like similar age and stuff. So I mean, even now my cousins are my best friends. Big up.
Same.
Like,
big up.
Seriously, like they are my best friends, my, like, you know, brothers and sisters from another
Mister.
yeah. But no, I love them loads. But yeah, that kind of like friend setting and like being in those kind of like spaces, I never had that. And yeah, I guess in a way, like maybe it should have empowered you to, you know, even like teach someone, or like let them into your culture and like let them know who you are and stuff. But I don't know, obviously at the time you don't think about things like that, but it was,
well, it's really weird because now I think back and I am resentful at certain people, like at certain friends, of being like, you never even were concerned that this might be a factor for me or something, or that there just a lot of things where in today's society, obviously everyone's more aware of like microaggressions and just stuff like that, and it's like people are more empathetic now, like towards people not being comfortable and not fitting in and stuff. And it's just yeah, it's weird when you don't feel like you have a community, but yeah, this, like, that's changed for me now. Like I've managed to actually make Indian friends and Sikh friends, and even big up Young Sing DJ, but going to any one of his shows, it's like if you're in the crowd, you feel like, yeah, they're your people.
I'm yet to go to one of these shows.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, I'll shout you at the next one. But
Yeah,
it's just
no,
like
definitely.
it's amazing just being around your own community, and it's like
Do you know what it is as well? Because we didn't really know like Punjabis like in that space. They were obviously, you know, Punjabis like that had the same interests as you as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and it didn't feel like there was.
yeah.
But I think it's super sick that we have this community now. Yeah, it's wicked. I wish we had that like back then. Do you know, in my
1000%.
uni, I didn't even have a Sikh society. I used to go to one of my friends in Brunel with my friend who went to Brunel. I used to go to their Sikh society. So obviously though Brunel, but like,
We had one, but they would drink.
no way. Are you serious?
Yeah, so I was like,
Okay,
not that I actually stopped drinking alcohol when I was in uni for 4 years. And even now, like, I will occasionally have a drink. I'm not like just casually chilling in my house just drinking.
Yeah.
I actually will probably quit again sometime soon. This is irrelevant to the podcast, but just in case anyone's interested.
Yeah, I'm the same, man. It doesn't do anything for my gut health.
It's just like I can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But my point in saying that was I'm not the best Sikh in the world, but at the same time I also am not going to form a Sikh society and then be like, yeah, everybody, let's have alcoholic
That's wrong,
beverages.
man.
And I was just like, I can't partake in this, so I just didn't ever go. But yeah, moving on from that, what have you got coming up? What exciting projects do you have? If you can talk about them, what do you want people to look out for?
So I am working on some cool projects, but I can't really talk about them.
I'm working on something really secretive at the moment, guys. I can't wait to share it.
No NDAs and that. So like
raw
no.
NDAs, you know.
Yeah, no. So
big fish.
Nah, really cool stuff, man. So this month as well, I'm doing a mural for. I mean, this one's kind of out there, but I'm doing a mural for a mental health hospital, which is huge, and I've got the entrance mural, which is like massive.
Amazing.
Yeah.
First thing people are gonna see.
Yeah, pressure, man. Pressure. But yeah, that's happening. And also, I'm making a new website for my stuff, like prints and stuff, merch. But I want that to be something else. So I've got something like brewing. Yeah, something planned. So yeah, just that. And then who knows what the year's got in store for me, man. Like, I think as a freelancer, you never know what like each year brings you, which is kind of scary, but also quite beautiful at the same time. But yeah, just that, and just, you know, focusing on my own stuff. More eyeliner looks, because I love eyeliner, of course.
Yeah.
More palm tree related things, more type, and yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
What's your favorite thing to create? Like, what do you like doing the most? Do you like doing your palm tree stuff? Do you like doing your makeup stuff? Do you like doing your types, your prints, your murals?
Oh, man.
What is your favorite? If you could only be in one specialized part, what would it be?
I mean, I think everything kind of stems from my type work. So I would say, yeah, like type, because I think there's so much more to type. Like, it's not just letters. It's, you know, it's illustration, it's design, it's you know, color palettes, and it's just everything. And I think, yeah, like I said, everything kind of stems from it. So even like the eyeliner looks and stuff, like, you know, the graphics that you plan and you paint, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'll say type probably. But also, I know a lot of my stuff's digital, but actually doing stuff physically with like a paintbrush is so much more nicer. And I think that's my foundation, that, you know, picking up paintbrush, that's my roots, man. So I think that would probably be my ultimate favorite, or like one thing that I'd want to
specialize in.
Yeah,
You could combine them.
Yeah, I have.
Paint.
Yeah. But I think with digital, like, there's a lot more scope. Like, there's so much more you can do with it, like a digital piece of artwork, you know. And it's not, it doesn't just live on like a screen. You can print it, you can create merch, you can create product, you can just do so much. Yeah.
Well, I very much look forward to seeing all the things that you do. Before we end today, I'm really interested to know, where does like your inspiration come from for all the stuff that you do? Obviously, your palm trees, you are obsessed with palm trees, so that's quite obvious where the inspiration for them come from. But like, just in terms of all that you do, like what keeps you inspired, what keeps you motivated, other than actually like having people resonate with your work, which you touched on earlier?
Yeah, so everything is kind of based on like me as a person and like my experiences. That's literally like, that is my inspiration. You know, just being my true self, because obviously in the past like I kind of shied away from that, but I'm just, you know, I'm just doing me, man. Like, so that, but also, you know, if we're thinking more of like a visual sense, I think for me, my parents and like the clothes I used to wear and stuff, like the graphics on that's a huge inspiration. That's why I love vintage stuff so much. So like vintage graphics and type.
So I'll make a count of how many times she says vintage.
Oh my god,
yeah, you love vintage stuff.
I do.
But I also, sorry, sidetrack, I saw that you posted when you was on holiday that you recreated like some of your parents' old
I'm obsessed, man.
clothing pieces. That was all that was so cool to see. Like you wear like a skirt and stuff.
It was sick, man. Then they're like over 30 years old, so it's pretty mad. But I remember seeing like finding, so my dad took out the suitcase that they had from their holiday, and I was like, oh my god, we opened it up. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it actually felt like a treasure chest. Like, it was sick. Like, I'm so happy that my parents kept, you know, things from back in the day, because I feel like,
especially things that they have in pictures.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not just like clothes and stuff. It's like, you know, the cassette tapes that they had, and that was a huge inspiration for me as well, with like my older work, and like the jewelry and stuff, like everything. I just love that everything has a story, and it's just, you know, that's what kind of made me kind of thing. And that's like, it's just sick, man. And I love hearing like even just stories of like, you know, the past, like my grandparents and my parents and stuff. Like I feel like that also like fuels me, you know, how resilient like my grandma was back in the day, like, and even now, and how like strong she is and stuff like that. I think that stories and like, you know, those kind of moments is what fuels me to like, you know, get to those levels as well, as like a woman and just a human being.
Yeah
No,
1,000%. Like my grandma recently passed away actually, but and we weren't the closest, because a lot of Indian people will know, a lot of our bibbies, nannies, they love to complain. So she loved that. But she also had been through a lot, and she'd done a lot, and without her kind of going through whatever she was going through and raising my mum and my aunt and stuff, it's like we wouldn't have such a strong bloodline of like strong women, and it did kind of start with her. And yeah, and it's just like I'm the same. Like I get very inspired just from my parents or people in my family, or like just people back in India and stuff. It's like they're so happy with so little, and it's like
exactly.
And they really do like fight for a better life or better quality of life, like being immigrants or whatever. So yeah, I think that especially as women of color, it's like it is easy in that sense to remain inspired, but also then you can kind of get the privilege guilt, where it's like you feel like you're not doing enough with your privilege and stuff like that. But no, good to know that you yourself remain inspired, and I guess after all these years you really did just stick to the advice that you got in your portfolio review.
Man,
just like I'm just doing me, and I'm just going to keep doing me.
Yo, my heart was dookie after that, man. I actually felt like okay, I'm gonna go
Harab.
Yeah. I actually felt that I was gonna come out of the portfolio review like with a bit of like
clarity,
yeah, but I actually didn't, and that was a bit shitty as well, because I feel like again it kind of like the work that I was producing wasn't necessarily like your traditional like the traditional stuff that an illustrator or someone would create. Like it was different, and maybe in a way, and I often felt this as well with my uni like lecturers and stuff, that they didn't really understand what I was trying to do or where I was coming from, because it was not the norm.
Yeah,
and I think that's why I had such a hard time trying to get into that industry. But I guess it all kind of worked out, and I think I think with everything and anything, like always works out, and everyone has a different journey as well. You know,
1000%.
I used to think that like with my peers in uni, a lot of them had their own style, and when they came out of uni, they were just, you know, they had it easy almost.
Yeah.
They probably didn't, because obviously everybody has their own, but you just never know. But like yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't change like my journey or experiences, because it makes you and yeah, man, just gotta trust in you and the process, and you can't go wrong. You can't do any wrong if you're yourself.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Authentic in everything that you do. So.
Yeah, because you're the only thing separating you from somebody else, essentially, because you could have the same qualifications, the same experience, everything. It's just yourself and what the take on it that you have.
Yeah, I mean, you can learn from what someone else has done, but you can't replicate what they've, you know, and how they've got to where they've got. So yeah,
would that be your advice?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think and I always say this, like, you just got to be yourself, just be your authentic self always. You can't go wrong with that. And I think with everything that I've done as well, like, I've always kind of just followed, it's gonna sound so cheesy, but I actually have just like followed my heart, and like, you know, I haven't tried to do what someone else is doing. I've just kind of just stayed in my lane, you know. And obviously, like, it's normal to compare yourself to God, I can't even speak. Like, compare yourself to others, and stuff like that. That's just part of life. But there comes a point where you just gotta like brush that to the side and really kind of, because that just clouds everything, man. You can't think straight, you know. You just gotta focus, man, and just do your own thing. But also as well, like, there's always going to be ups and downs, and I think one of the things actually that always sticks with me, and I created a piece on this, failure is success in progress. And yeah, that is something that I'd always remember, because yeah, if something doesn't work out, there's always something down the pipeline that it's going to work out. So
Welcome to Galia. I heard something the other day which was, it happens for you, not to you, which is a really good take on just anything kind of bad that happens in life, and any failures or any doors closing. But yeah, 100%. Great piece of advice. I think it's very important for everyone to just stay true to themselves, and 100% what is written will be, and unfortunately there's not much you can do about it, for good, for better or for worse. Yeah,
because do you know what as well, in that moment, like, it's just, it seems like a really like shitty moment, but then actually looking back, you realize, you know, why it happened, but also you realize like how you've grown from it. And I think that is a beautiful thing. It's bittersweet, but
yeah, for sure. It's like, I was even saying to someone the other day, like, even if you think you've been through the hardest point of your life or through the best point of your life, you don't know how much harder and better it's going to be. But the good thing about that is that at one point in your life prior to your hardest moment, you thought that you'd been through your hardest moment. So it's like you're a lot more resilient than you know, and you have so much more potential than you know. You just have to be willing to accept the invitations of these like testing moments in life. Like that's like, strength really does build character, and it's like you don't know what you're capable of until you're tested.
Exactly.
And you just have to be open to challenges.
100%. Was it Pressure Makes Diamonds?
Yeah,
exactly that, man.
You have to be mentally okay. Like, you have to go through the struggles and the process of like healing, and you know, I don't like positive thinking. Like, I'm not. I'm just a real, like, I prefer like people live in reality, and they say they accept the good and they accept the bad. They don't try and, because being like too overly or forced positive, I don't think is even beneficial. Like, it's just jarring and corny. So it's like, you just accept that sometimes days are shit and sometimes days are great, and then that's just life. If Mother Nature teaches us anything, it's that like life exists in balance.
It's just creating something positive out of something negative. Like,
yes,
Yeah, but yeah, force positivity, because not everything is.
Sometimes things just suck.
Yeah.
And there is no positive. It just sucks.
Yeah.
But it's all right because it won't suck tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Well, on that note, that has flew by, by the way. I feel like we hardly even spoke. Do you have anything that we haven't touched on that you want to say? Do you have anything to tell the people?
Honestly, I feel like we can talk forever, man. I think there's gonna have to be a her story part 2, Jasmin Sehra and Sandy, like in the future sometime. Yeah,
we can have a vlog. We can go on a date because we still need to go get our butter chicken.
Oh my god, yes.
So we can vlog.
Cup,
yes, and jar the
oh
cups.
gosh,
We can
yeah.
vlog. Guys, we'll have a
shit.
vlog.
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me.
But let the people know where they can follow you then.
Yeah, follow me at Jasmin Sehra on Instagram.
She's now on TikTok.
So it was just like a test, but yeah, I'm on TikTok, guys. So find me.
I'm also on TikTok since my last episode. I freaking love it.
Yeah, TikTok, and my website is always jasminsehra.com. And but yeah, I guess Instagram's probably the best place to keep updated with everything that I'm doing. So yeah, see you there.
Yes, you shall. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Sandy, so much for having me.
My sister, my Benji.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening, for watching. If you're on audio listen, please make sure you follow the podcast. And if you're a visual listener, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And I shall catch you guys in the next episode.